Alright there, YouTubers. It's Chris, the very tired handy guard, here on the beautiful Rogue River again. This is day 3 of the 2015 dredging season, so I'll give you a quick look at my noontime check in the box. Unfortunately, I did not bring my camera yesterday because the noon check was quite a bit better. But we're showing some nice color in there. Catching it up on the upper section of the black V matting, which is doing its job. Lead sinkers are falling right there too. So, getting some gold. Not the stellar cleanups that I had last year so far anyway, after a pretty rocky start. Whew. And the water is ripping. We crossed the river before they lowered it, which they do in July. So my daily commute now, instead of the more or less casual stumble across trying to keep my footing while leaning on that raft, is a much more dicey start out and stumble as far as I can until I can't touch anymore. And then swim for it until I can touch again and get through the deep part. And that's both coming and going, which blows me way down river. So I got to walk way up there before I start crossing and hope to get to the other side before I go down there. Because we do not want to go down there. That's for the rafters, which just went by. And now they're going bye-bye. But anyway, I'm going to take a lunch break here and try to catch my breath. And then we'll put in another dive in the afternoon. See if we can put a little more gold in the box. And I'll check in with you later. Beautiful Rogue River. At the high stage. Oh my God. Alright, all you faithful YouTube fans out there, Dive 2 is in the record books. This is the 3rd day of the season, so that makes it the 18th of June. And the box looks better after the second dive than it did the first one, so it's worth a video. Let's go see. I gave it a little flush to clean off the stuff that's on top, and I'm seeing a lot of yellow color, which is really a good sign that we're going to have a good cleanup. Looks real good. Better than yesterday, I think. Maybe a little bit better than yesterday. So, seeing that makes it seem like all of this insanity is worthwhile. Crossing this river at high water stage, which you can see by the fact that the vegetation comes right down to the water line. It doesn't get any higher than that unless there's a major flood. So after I do my cleanup, just the top section, I'm going to beat feet back across the river, swim for it until I can touch again, and get on across. And then we'll finish our cleanup at the campsite. And Alan, my partner Alan Mash, and I are probably going to do some team dredging tomorrow because he's not finding anything. And this is a real nice bonanza here, so I want to share it with him. He's having a little bit of trouble, so that's what partners do. And we'll probably team dredge. It'll be easier for both of us. And we'll split the gold. Fine, if we can clean up this deposit, that's probably going to be it for us on the Rogue this year. We're hoping California opens up. So I'll show you the test pan and lay trap, and then we'll get back to camp. Man, what a beautiful day. It's always good when you find gold, but it's still a beautiful day no matter what. And that, my friends, is what every tired miner wants to see at the end of the day. Gold in the pan. And that is a significant amount of fine gold. That's all -8. I haven't put it through any other classifiers, just a -8. That's a pretty big Garrett pan. That's a full-size Garrett pan. So we're looking at a very good day. And I am very, very thankful. Also found a couple of pickers. And one nice little nugget. You can see them very well in this light and this angle. Or if the camera can focus on it. There's stuff in the background. Water always gives it a hard time. Well, you'll get to see them when I get them cleaned out later. Alright, on with the rest of the cleanup. Hallelujah. Alright gang, here's a quick shot of the Lake Trap. Oh my god. But I gotta beat feet because the sun is going down and this is not a river I really want to cross in the dark. So there you have it again. I can't shut the motor off because once the water stops all the gold settles and you can't see it as good. But that is a pretty happy looking Lake Trap. Gonna be the best day this year, absolutely. Alright, I'm going to button things up and pack my gear so I can get back across this river. See you back at camp, I hope. Alright gang, it's Chris for the Scruffy Handegard channel. And this should be a real treat for you, so I'm going to give you a little bit more than I usually do of my cleanup. And I'll let you see a little more of the panning because there's a good bit of gold in there and it'll be nice to watch it come out as I work it. So let's get to it. There's the material. Those are my concentrates from Lake Trap. It was too late to do it yesterday, so I'm going to do it today. Here's my tools, pans. We'll get the camera set, and let's go to work. Throw a pan in there. How's that look? Okay, you should get a good view of that. Classifier. In goes the material. And that's a 20 mesh screen. 20 divisions per inch. So we'll sift out the smaller stuff. The really fines. The -20s will be down in the pan, and in the classifier will be the +20s. So they did not go through the 20 mesh screen. I can already see some in there. Let's see if I can give you a little quick preview. I don't know if you can see it at this angle or not, but there's a lot of +20 pickers in there. We'll be panning those out by themselves. Look at all that. Wow. It's going to be a good good cleanup. Alright, so we'll take the +20s and dump them in a pan and get to them next. Alright, we put a little safety pan in the tub under the -20s and away we go. A lot of black sand, so let's see if we can work off some of the lighter material here first before I get my magnet out. I'll guarantee you there is going to be a good bit of fine gold in there. It will make a nice golden smiley face in the pan. I did a little bit of a how-to video on the last video, so you can start to see the gold starting to show up. So that's when you want to stop washing it. But fear not, this that I've panned once will be saved until later in the season in case a flake, a little speck or two washes out while I'm panning it, and I'm sure it will. So that material will be saved and run through a blue bowl or a gold wheel to catch whatever I might wash out. Which is why I'm using a safety pan, and that's what I've been taught, so I'll tell you, you should do that too. Alright, we're down to using the magnet now, and I collect the magnetite separately and just kind of keep it off in its own little storage container and run it at the end of the year as well. And I did show you how I do that, so I'm only going to demonstrate briefly how I do it, which is I swirl the material around, trying to get the heavy gold to go to the bottom, catch a little black magnetic sand or magnetite. Sometimes you can get a little piece of gold stuck between the particles of black sand though, so you want to save it and put it through a processor that will get it out without using a magnet. So that'll be saved and run again later. Alright, so you see the process. It's a little boring and tedious, so I'm going to cut it now, and then I'll get back to it after I've removed most of the black sand. Get all the magnetite out, and then it'll be down to a few little bits of fine processing. Well, I've removed just about all of the black sand. All the magnetite is out, and I've gotten all of the black sand out that I can safely pan, or I'm in danger of washing out my gold. And there is a lot of fine yellow gold in there. We do not want to lose that. So I'm going to use a method I call tipping and walking to get it out without washing it out of the pan. Most of you are probably familiar with the tipping procedure, where you just leave a little bit of water in your pan, and even a little less than that. You swirl it up, kind of try to get the gold to go to the bottom, which is hard now because there's so much of it that it's hard to get the black sand away from the gold. And you swirl, I don't know if you can see it or not, but I'll try to show you. You swirl the water up on the gold and then tip it, trying to get just the black sand and not the gold to go down to the bottom of your pan. The tiniest flakes of gold are going to be hard to prevent from going to the bottom of the pan. So here's another tip. Use a drop of jet dry to break the surface tension of the water, because some of that gold is so small it will float on the surface tension of the water. You got to watch that or you'll lose it. So we do a little tipping, and I'm only holding it at this angle so you can see it. I would not be doing it at this angle for myself. You see how the black sand, you want to try and get the black sand to go to the bottom of the pan, leaving the gold up there at the top. If you see a little speck of gold, it might have gone down, get it back up where it belongs. Kind of a visual procedure as well as gravity and water action. And the other method that I found works for me, I don't know what it's called, I just call it walking. If you, let's see if I can give you an angle on it that you can see. With a little water in place, if you just tap the edge of the pan, the gold will walk right up the side of the pan because it's heavy and it's responding to the impact. See how it spread itself right up the side for me? So now I can just manually, if it's got too much black sand in it, I might redo it or not take what has the black sand, but I'll just start manipulating it toward the edge of the pan, and then I'm just going to rake it off into another pan in small amounts. A little at a time. Let's see it or not. Okay, that should work. A little at a time, you know, just using gravity. I get it to the edge of the pan, let the water take it over the edge. There's a little, I can see a little piece of lead or two in there. If I can pick them out later, I will. And then I go back and forth doing the same thing again and again. A little agitation. You know, if I can pan off a little bit of that black sand without my gold trying to go to the edge of the pan, I will. I'll try and get rid of a little bit more. So it's careful at this stage. You want to be real careful. But you do have your safety pan. If you do see something go out in there, you can get it back. Alright, so let's see if we can pan off a little bit more now. It's just not going to be very panable. And when you walk it, if you haven't removed enough of your black sand by tipping, you'll be walking the black sand up there with the gold and it doesn't stay as clean. So I'm going to spend a little more time off the video here carefully tipping to get rid of the black sand, try and get it to come down to the bottom of my pan, and then walking the gold up to the top like I showed you and just scraping it off into the clean pan. That's going to be my clean gold that I will dry out. So that'll be the fines, and then I'll show you how much I get once I've completed the process. You see how it goes? Just rinse and repeat. Well, feast your eyes on that, pilgrims. That's the fines. That is pretty spectacular. That's got to be an ounce plus. So I wanted to show you one last little thing here, which is the last little bits of gold in this old scarred Garrett pan, which I like because it's scratchy. And if you got a new pan, you might want to scratch it up some. It helps the gold stay put. That is some minute, shake it up a little bit here, particles of gold, which I wanted to show you because obviously the Keen, it's a Mini 6 with the triple sluice box that I got used 3 years ago, is doing a pretty darn good job of fine gold recovery. If it's catching stuff that small, and there's a lot more of it in there, it's doing a good job of fine gold recovery as far as I can tell. You know, if you get down into the flour gold size, I don't know that any dredge would capture it, but I can't complain. So I finally got all of the minus 20s cleaned out. Wow. Next we'll do the plus 20s and get them out of the gravels that we classified earlier. So I'm going to set that aside to dry now. Zowie. Okay, here's the wrap up of the cleanup from the 17th, yesterday. Third day of the mining season. Those are the plus 20s, nice chunky pieces. Real pretty gold. Rogue River gold is pretty. It's not the purest. I hear Georgia gold is even purer. And there were the plus 8s, the little mini nuggets. A couple of them are a little on the chunky side. They make a sound when you drop them in the pan. Well, that one does. So there you have it. There's the bigger gold. Looking good. Got to be a couple of 3 penny weight there maybe. There's the fines. So let's get them into the drying and weigh it up. Okay, here we go for the weigh-in from June 17th, which was a really good day. Cleanup looked really great. A lot of fine gold in the pan.
That's, what is that? Minus 20?
Minus 20. Plus 20, and a few plus 8s. So let's weigh the minus 20s first.
Who's running the camera?
Got an empty vial on my scale, and zero it out. Alright. So now I'm going to hopefully not have a disaster as I pour this into my little paper funnel.
No disaster. He didn't answer, but Bearcat is behind the camera.
That is Bearcat, the one and only.
That's right. I'll get it. Here I am. What's up? In the Handigar's trailer. With all his freaking gold to drool over.
Dude, that is heavy. I can almost not lift it. It is so heavy.
Really? Let me feel it.
It is freaking heavy.
God, that's a lot of gold, man.
I may need a bigger vial.
I'm guessing 22 pennyweight total, but we'll see.
It's not going to fit.
It's not, oh, God. Damn, you did it. You did what you said you weren't going to do.
Well, I wish you weren't filming me doing this.
That'll be good for you.
We're not going to use that now.
I'll start over then.
Okay, now it's in a little plastic cup, and we got 18 pennyweight of minus 20. After cleaning up the disaster and getting it into something that I can weigh. Since I'm getting tired and a little fumbly. So let's try that again. Turn the scale on. A little plastic cup on there weighs 0.3 or 4 pennyweight. Alright, we got her zeroed. So I'll put my plus 20s and my nuggets all together. Let's see what we get there. It says 0. Let's do that in the pan, since I have been a little bit sloppy today. And we have 3.2, 3.1, 3.1. Looks like we're over an ounce by a pennyweight or so. Looks pretty good. This is not going to be accurate now because I didn't zero it with 2 cups on it. But it's well over an ounce. 21.5 pennyweight, so it's about 21 pennyweight. So that's the weigh-in from June 17th. And we'll keep at it until this deposit plays out. Hope you enjoyed it. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment. Thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you next time.